started talking about water and history and everything, so I think I'd better come here and talk about it. If you recall, when we set the project up and after bid, we looked at where we needed to be about. We never looked at water rates other than we looked at what would an equivalent dwelling have to pay a month. And after bid, we looked at the numbers and we figured it was $43.10 a month at an equivalent. That's the average person would be charged or needs to collect based on the new debt. And that budget was set at that's a yearly budget of around $165,000 a year. That include all of your operation and maintenance expense, all your other expenses. And now we've done a lot of things since that time. I know there's some refinancing that didn't go on and some other things. So I did check with Jeff at Rural Development, and I said, okay, do you still want the $165,000 as being your budget for the year? And he said yes. He still wants rates to be established on that number. It might be that it's less than that, but he still wants rates to be at that. The only other item that kind of got thrown in here since that time was the downtown water main project. And if you recall, we got a pretty good deal on that. There was a 40% grant project, but there is a little bit of debt on that. And that's $6,300. Now the question is, do you want to put the $6,300 in the annual budget, or do you want to use other revenue to pay for that? We knew it was going to be $6,300 a year for the debt recovery on that project, but we never decided at the time. That was stimulus funds, and we just jumped at it because if we didn't jump, somebody else would have taken the money. So the very first question is do you want to recover that $6,300 through water rates? And since I think we've already passed the budget, I don't know how to do it.
Well, except for the water rates, I'll have to have it approved. I'll have to do an adjustment on the water rates. That's the only budget I don't have. I don't have
either. Basically, we have to cover that, so it's either out of general revenue or through the rate. Okay. So far, we've had our rates set up to cover water and sewer. Water and sewer.
Yes.
Okay. We haven't had.
We don't
sneak it out of the general.
We don't try to. In fact, Rural Development, who has now their fingers in both your water and your sewer, does not want it.
They want the rates to cover.
They want
the bond. Okay.
Well, I see, like on our water here for last year, we had a net income of $6,063.
Okay, but then don't use that because that doesn't have the new debt in it. Okay, and we're readjusting all that. Now, I took it and looked at it a little differently. I looked at the revenue that you've been collecting on your existing rate and projected it for December, and that's on the second sheet, that you will collect almost $128,000 this year with the rates you do have and the amount of water you do sell. Okay. So what I did is I just said, okay, if that looks like what you're going to collect, how much more do you need just to make the new budget of 165 or 171, depending on what where you want to put that $6,300. There's two questions here. First of all, do you want to still retain that common cost per month, the average cost of around $43, and you want to do that on just the project we're looking at here, or do you want to also include the water main in that $43 number that we've always looked at? So there's actually two questions. Okay. One is, what do you want to do with the 63? Do you want to put it in the water rate revenue or some other revenue? And secondly, what do you want the cost per average user to be? 43, or do you want to increase it to cover the 63?
I have a comment. In my opinion, I like option number 3. And option number 3 has us collecting water revenue to cover that $6,300. And it basically ends up being a $2.40 increase in water rate per user, the minimum monthly rate. And then there's a modest increase for usage. And that's enough to cover the bond payment and our existing costs and whatnot. That seems to me, I don't know any other option to collect the other $6,300. We're not gonna take it out of our tax levy, we don't have room there. So to me, we should collect it through water user fees. So I'm recommending that we go with number 3.
Okay, now, just to tell you, number 1 will also do that, but what number 1 does is it creates a higher rate per thousand, which means your heavier water users has a greater burden to pay that.
Yeah. And one of the things I don't like about that is again, people, not that we want to encourage people to water their lawns, but then they pay the sewer fee on top of that and whatnot.
Mhm.
I know that people don't like that. So it just seems like number 3 is simple. It's probably, it covers our costs.
Well, the safest is to charge a higher base rate, because you know you're gonna get there.
Yes.
And then the usage rate, that could, people quit watering their lawn. I would.
The oddity in that is that Minnesota has actually passed a law that says you have to create water rates that discourage water use.
Mhm.
We have that.
No, you would load your usage up then.
I
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But I know that everybody has that mentality now, they don't want to use water because of the usage
Yeah.
cost.
But the minimums are so high that it doesn't really affect them too much.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's, you either have your water on or not, kind of. With our current rates, our rate per 1,000 is pretty low.
Pretty low right
And our base rate is pretty high.